Okay, let's have the solution to example 20. Represent each of the four systems with a force coupled system having the force act at point A. Then which systems are equivalent to each other? So we are given these different four systems here, and let's analyze the um resultant force acting at A and the resultant couple also acting at A. So for part A, point A, so we have two forces here. So this is in the positive x direction. So in vector form, this is 10I. Then this is towards positive y-axis. So therefore, the equivalent force or resultant force acting at A is 10I plus 30J. So R sub A in vector form is 10I plus 30J Newton. Now, how about the couple? So remember, this is point A, so this is AX. This 30 Newton force passes through AX, so it has no moment about the x-axis, AX axis. This 10 Newton force is parallel to X, so there's also no moment about AX. And how about AY? So this 30 Newton force is parallel to the y-axis, so it has it cannot produce moment about AY axis. Then this 10 Newton force applying right thumb rule, so position your right thumb towards AY, then it is opposing out the curling of the four fingers, so it is negative 10 times 90. So CAX is 0, CAY is negative 10 times 90, so negative 900. Then how about AZ axis? So about AZ axis, the 30 Newton force passes through the AZ axis, so 0. The 10 Newton force also passes through the AZ axis, obviously. So CAZ is also 0. Therefore, the resultant couple acting at A or about A is equal to negative 900 J Newton Nm. So this is the equivalent force uncoupled system acting at point A for the force system in part A. So let's proceed to B. In B, we have three forces here. So 20 is positive. It's towards the positive x-axis. So 20I. Then 30 is also positive, plus 30J. 15 is also towards the z-axis, so plus 15K. So the resultant force acting at A is equal to 20I plus 30J plus 15K Newton. Then for moment about AX, so this is AX, so 30 passes through AX, 0. 15 Newton meter, 15 Newton force is also passing through AX because this is AX, so 0. Then 20 is parallel to the x-axis, so there's no couple about the AX-axis, so CAX is 0. Then CAY, this is AY, so 30 is parallel, 0. Then applying the right thumb rule, 15 is positive, so 15 times 120. So 15 times 120, then minus 20 times 90. So CAY is 15 times 120 minus 20 times 90. And that is also 0. Then about AZ axis, the 30 Newton force passes through, so 0. 15 Newton force is parallel, so also 0. Then 20 Newton force also passes through AZ axis, so it is 0. So CAZ is also 0. So therefore, the resultant couple for the force system in B is 0. So the resultant is 20 plus 30J plus 15K Newton, but the resultant couple is 0. Let's proceed to part C. So we have, for the resultant, we have 10I plus 30J. This is a couple. This is about y-axis, and applying right hand rule, that's negative 900J. This couple is negative 900J. So for the resultant force, it is equal to 10I plus 30J. Then couple about AX. So 10 is parallel, so none. 30 passes to AX, so 0. So CAX is 0. For about y-axis, 30 Newton force is parallel to the AY axis, so 0. 10 Newton force passes to AY, so 0. So there's only negative 900 Newton mm as the component of the couple about A, and that is negative 900J Newton mm. And about the z-axis, both the 30 Newton force and the 10 Newton force pass through the AZ axis, so they are not capable of producing moment about AZ axis. And since this is an independent couple, this is negative 900 Newton meter about the AY axis, so therefore CAZ is 0. So the resultant couple about A for force system in C is negative 900J Newton mm. So notice that the force couple system in part A are equivalent to the force couple system in part C. So A and C are equivalent. Then let's proceed to part D. This is part D. So along X, so we have positive 15 minus 15. Anyway, this is a couple, so 0. Along Y, there's none. There's no force horizontally because this is a couple. Then along Z, we have positive 15 minus 15. That constitute another couple. So therefore, there's no Y component of force along Z. So along X, 0. Along Y, 0. Along Z, 0. Therefore, the resultant force in force system at D is 0. Then for couple about AX axis, so these two 15 and 15 here are parallel, so none. So applying right thumb rule, this 15 Newton force passes through AX, so it's 0. But this 15 here will produce moment about AX. So by right thumb rule, it's negative 15 times 150. So that's the couple about AX axis. Then about Y, which is horizontal AY, this is passing through AY. This 15 passes through AY, but this 15 here produces moment about AY. So it is positive right thumb rule. So 15 times 90. So it is positive 15 times 90. Then this 15 Newton force here passes through AY. So it is 0. But this upward 15 Newton force produces a couple about AY axis, and it is also positive by right thumb rule, so 15 times 120. So again, 15 times 90 plus 15 times 120, and this 1950 Newton mm couple by right thumb rule is negative because it is towards the right thumb is towards the negative AY axis. So therefore, CAY is equal to 15 times 90 plus 15 times 120, then minus 1950. So negative 1950, 15 times 120 plus 15 times 90. So the result is equal to 1200 Newton mm. Then about the z-axis, these two are parallel, then supposedly this is the AZ axis. This is positive, but there is also 15 here with the same moment arm. Therefore, the resultant couple about AZ axis is 0. The other two vertical 15 Newton force are parallel to G. So there's no couple for forces parallel to the axis. So say AZ is 0. Therefore, the resultant couple for force system at D is force system in D, part D, would be negative 2250 I plus 1200 J Newton mm. So comparing with force couple system in part C, so there's no equivalent force couple system. This is a unique force couple system at D. Then let's study part E. So along X, there's none. For the resultant, along Y, there's none also. There's no horizontal force. Along Z, we have 10 plus 5, positive 15, then minus 15, so 0. So therefore, the resultant couple at E is, for part E, is 0. Then for moment about AX or CAX, by right thumb rule, this 10 and 5 Newton force will produce negative moment about AX axis. This 15 here passes through AX, so it's 0. So it's negative quantity 5 plus 10. The moment arm is 150 for CAX. So it is negative 2 to 15 Newton mm. For CEY, this is EY. So this 5 Newton force passes through EY is 0. This 15 Newton force here passes through EY, so it's 0. By right thumb rule, this 10 Newton meter here produces positive moment about AY. So the resultant couple about AY is positive 10 times 120. And that is equal to 1200 Newton mm. And finally, for CAZ, since all forces are parallel to the AZ axis, so it's 0. So therefore, the resultant couple for force system in E is equal to negative 2250 I plus 1200 J Newton mm. So comparing with force system in D, so they are equivalent also. And finally, force system at F, so AX, there's none for couple, for force. So there's no X component of force. Y component of force, there's none. There's no horizontal force. Then for Z, so we have 20 plus 25 upward, so 45 minus 45, 0. So the resultant force in F is 0. Then for CAX, so this is AX axis. So we have positive 2,400, that's given. Then this 25 Newton force passes through AX, so it's 0. By the way, this is 2,400 J Newton meter because that is along Y. This one is negative 3,750 along X, so negative 3,750 I, negative 3,750 I. So then, because this is AX, so 25 passes through AX0, these two will produce moment about AX. So by right thumb rule, position your right thumb towards the positive AX axis. So 45 is positive, 20 is negative. They have the same moment arm. So it is quantity 45 minus 20 times 150, then minus 3750. So CEX is negative 3750 plus quantity 45 minus 20. The moment arm is 150, but the result is 0. Then along Y, CAY, this is already 2,400. Newton meter. Then this 20 Newton force passes through AY axis, so it's 0. Only 45 and 25 will produce moment about AY axis. So by right thumb rule, position your right thumb towards AY axis. So 25 is positive, 45 is negative. So therefore, CAY is 2,400 plus the quantity 25 minus 45 close. Then the moment arm is 120. So CAY is 2,400 plus 25 minus 45 times 120. That's also 0. And finally, about AZ axis. So the forces will have 0 moment about AZ axis because they are all parallel to the AZ axis. Then there's no couple which is directed about the AZ axis because this is CX negative 3750. This is C sub AY positive to 400. So therefore CAZ is 0 and the resultant couple at for force system at F would be 0. So then which systems are equivalent to each other? So force system in A, force couple system in A is equivalent to force couple system in C. Then force couple system in D equivalent also to force system at D. So that's it.